Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2020 Driver Career Ferrari, episode number 79 today for the final race of Season 5. Of course, I am doing a Season 6, so there will be a shortened 10 race calendar, so make sure you get subscribed to see that series, and also this, obviously, a Driver Career Mode on F1 2021, which details will coming shortly. As soon as this season 6 is finished, then details. But back to today's video, and unfortunately, qualifying, well, it's gonna be raining, and I don't do that well in the rain. But saying that, this is Brazil. It's one of the one of the better tracks for rain. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, it's intermediate conditions. Okay, so it looks a bit more than intermediate conditions. It's what we call chucking it down in the UK. Intermediate's confirmed. So hopefully it gets lighter. And I can tell you now, I did something that I don't think I've ever done ever before. I did 5 time laps in a row. And set fastest time after fastest lap. And eventually did a 15 flat after final race. Eventually though, it's sort of getting less heavier, the rain, as we go through this session. Everybody is out on track to try and improve their final times, so we'll see if any of the other, bearing in mind most of them, the AI have just done 1 lap so far, and that was probably at the start of the session, so they're probably going to improve, which is why we're probably a little bit higher up the order than where we probably will end up. But we'll see. Bottas did a second run halfway through the session after I came in, so that's why he is top of the leaderboard, but 3.5 tenths up. So you can see here that it is getting drier on the track. Less puddles, more intermediate conditions really as they come into the Alton, as we got the likes of an AlphaTauri. It took a little bit of grass then, we've lost a bit of time, but coming out of that corner, that's unfortunate, otherwise we would have been a little bit better. Bottas has improved to 14.5, Vettel 13.9, that's a bit more like it. That's something we're not really going to challenge. It's a poor exit out the final corner. We did take that left hand curve, we are improving now. Only 4 tenths really, and look, as we come through, it's not that great, to be honest. Let's see where this is. There should be an improvement of 4 tenths, and it's only enough for P8. So after all those laps that I did earlier in the session, be setting fastest lap after fastest lap, in the end we're 7 tenths up. We're so close to Leclerc, so... But it will be dry for the race, and this is one of my better tracks, so we'll see. It's going to be a tough one to see what we can do. We're on the back foot. It's time for the race. After, first of all, some questions from Claire.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. Do you feel comfortable on the wet, or are you hoping the sun shines tomorrow?
We're hoping the sun shines tomorrow after we only came 8th.
There's quite a buzz around this team at the moment. What are your thoughts on them?
No comment.
Formula One returns to Sao Paulo once again, with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Brazilian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his 3rd championship here in 2012, and in 2016, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7 mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if of course the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. And so, for one final time this season, Anthony Davidson joins me in the commentary box.
Well, the winter break is looming once again. No doubt many of those teams already have their eyes firmly on next season. But there's still work to be done here. Still championship positions to decide, which can make a big difference to the prize money. So no one's going to be taking their foot off the throttle just yet.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole, Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Gasly, Valtteri Bottas, and Sainz, Leclerc, and a Ferrari, Stroll, and Esteban Ocon, Norris, Russell, Nicholas Latifi, and Joe, De Vries, Giovinazzi, Daniel Kvyat. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Kevin Magnussen, Giotto, and Nobuharu Matsushita. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
We're still in with a shot at the driver's title. It's down to this. Now go out there and come back a champion.
That's the emotion I've ever heard from Jeff on the entire F1 game. Race strategy, I did think about doing medium to soft, playing about with it, seeing it. Obviously we've got free choice of tyre. Seems that doing 11 laps on a set of softs is what seems to be showing a way to go, although I do know that undercutting might be a benefit, so it'll probably come the lap earlier, even if the mediums will be able to last. So we get ready then for vibrant lights for the final time in season 5, and away we go. And it's a good start, a lot better than Leclerc, who's had a terrible start. And look at this, we're going to shoot up the inside of the Mercedes and Gasly. Can we get past Gasly? Side by side through Gasly, through the centre S's. We cut Gasly off and retain P4, but Gasly's going to have the better run out of the centre S's. We're going to try and squeeze him to the inside. Let's try and go around the outside of Gasly. We try and give each other room. There's a bit of tyre banging as we try, and as the track narrows slightly as well, as we try to go side by side. I think Gasly may or may not have lost a bit of his front wing here. We ride on board with him. He tries to give us he got a bit on the curbing there, which sent his car into me really, and then that obviously, I think he did lose a bit of his front right end plate, which is unfortunate for Pierre. So we jump a few laps later in the race. The man that's doing us the massive favour, Sebastian Vettel, he's in control of this race. He's aiming for a hat-trick of victories to round off this season, and he's running away at the front. One thing though we're not doing is running away from the Mercedes, because of course Bottas pit. Gasly pit for a front wing change. So Bottas and Sainz are now behind us, along with Leclerc. There was that little bit of side by side with Bottas where we forced him out. Eventually though we jumped to lap 10. Bottas sort of not able really to have another go at us in the intervening laps, and we come in for a one and only stop, 2.8 second stop. Leclerc isn't going to be I don't know, the Renault has improved, but at the same time he's just not there really in terms of pace, and he's come out behind us. So, and I think if we time this correctly, he's actually going to come out behind Giovinazzi, so he's going to get delayed behind the Alfa Romeo. So we now jump to lap 12. A lap later, Bottas is coming out of the pits. Now this is going to be very close. Has the undercut worked? We just come out in front of Bottas. And then the lap later, lap 13, Sainz is in as well, so he's come in for his mediums, and it's a little bit less close with Sainz, but Sainz has jumped Bottas. So yes, it'll be interesting to see what the Mercedes can do in season 10, whether they can challenge myself as well, depending what other drive moves. But looking at the Red Bulls ahead, they've swapped, so Verstappen is now the lead Red Bull, but Albon is the lead Red Bull in the championship by 1 point, and Albon is not having this. He has all the suffering that he's had in real life, in game. He's looking for a world championship and goes past Verstappen and retakes second place, as Sainz now is having a go at us on the final lap number 18. The intervening laps haven't been that interesting, I must be honest. We cut off Bottas, and that's Sainz, and that allows Bottas to get past. We see a little bit of replay here. It goes to the outside. We obviously then take the defender inside, force him off a little bit wide at the exit, and that allows Bottas to catch him napping. And that was the end of that lap. Bottas can't get past us, so we're coming across the line to win the World Championship.
Fantastic drive, and it means your driver's world champion. What a result. Enjoy it.
Yes, absolutely fantastic. My first driver's championship for 3 years.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion.
So yes, we've finally done it. It has been a long time, I do apologise. It has been many years since you have seen me be World Champion. Those of you who are back on, subscribed to the channel back in it would have been 2018, back on F1 2017, all those years ago. But there we go. P4, a good result all round. I mean, it would have been nice to have made the podium. I think if it had been dry qualifying, we would have probably been up there challenging Vettel for victory maybe, but there we go, it doesn't matter. 6 points then to Albon, 10 points to Verstappen. And in the end, Vettel only 43 points behind, but his poor run of form in the early start of the season really paid, really cost him. And Bottas's mid-form also cost him as well. Sainz, it didn't end well for him after leading the championship in that middle part of the season. Unfortunately, Red Bull were too good for us in the constructors, so they win the constructors championship. We do come home in second place.
First of all, congratulations. You must be thrilled. You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
Well, we dive bombed via turn 1 and stayed there.
Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
No, come on there, Claire.
Sounds like there's some work to do back at the factory.
I'm sorry. Sounds like there's work to be done back at the factory, Claire. We're maxed out on pretty much every department other than durability. What are you talking about? I don't know what she's been smoking these days, but there it is, the Drivers' Champion on the left-hand side. So yes, well, that is definitely something to make a note of, because it might not happen again on this channel. They don't come around rare. It might be another 3 years before you see me win a World Championship. That's where I'm going to leave it. If you have enjoyed, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. You see plenty more episodes of the F1 2020 Driver Career Mode Season 6, 10 episodes still to come. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.